Dragon Ball does the villains to hero troop better than Naruto. We're gonna let Warner go ahead and rock out first. So go ahead, brother.
The method of how they convert the villain to a hero in Dragon Ball, for me, is better than the way they do it in Naruto. Because in the most famous examples in Naruto, it's often, you're just like Naruto. And because of that, they see a younger version. Like, a lot of the villains in Naruto are like Naruto if he turned evil. Obito is just Naruto if he turned evil. Pain, a similar thing. Not one to one, of course, but similar things to where almost every Naruto villain that was talk no jutsu was done so by Naruto. There was never a switch up of how they turned good. Sasuke, convo with Naruto. Pain, convo with Naruto. Obito, convo with Naruto. That was each one of these. Not to say it's a bad thing. Again, they all made sense contextually, but like in terms of Dragon Ball, almost half the Z fighters were villains. Yamcha, Desert Bandit, he did not fuck with them. How did he turn good? He started on Bulma.
What gang are you in, cuz? I'm just not in a gang, David.
Talking about your redeems. Naya was talking about your redeems. But like Dragon Ball, they've utilized it in different ways, which keeps it somewhat fresh. And it feels a little bit more realistic in Dragon Ball. Like, oh, for example, Dragon Ball, one of the ways they utilize the villain to hero thing is that normally there's a common enemy before. It's not just straight villain hero. There's normally some type of common enemy that they gotta team up for. A good example of this is Vegeta in Planet Namek. He wasn't a good guy at all. He was still killing. He was still going crazy. But they were like, hey, we got this Ginyu Force, and if we don't team up to handle them, we're dead. Same thing with Piccolo in the Saiyan Saga. Piccolo was evil. He was ready to get back at Goku. That's why that was happy as to kill Goku against Raditz. He said, oh, Goku, I get to kill both of y'all at the same time? Hey, I'm gonna take that. Temporary alliance, and then while Piccolo was training for the next set of Saiyans with Gohan, Gohan's love is what turned him good. Again, very little to do with Goku. Hell, even Vegeta had arguably one of the best character arcs in the show. What happened? Common enemy with Frieza, which made sense. Frieza killed his whole planet, took everything the nigga cared about, and then Goku stole the shine of killing Frieza. And then Vegeta's son from the future came out and then finished the job again. Then when the Majin Buu saga came back, nigga, imagine your number one op come back from the dead for one day and this nigga bullshitting talking about saving the world. That nigga done stole your shine for the last 10 plus years. You done watched them get everything that was your birthright. And he come back for one day. You got one opportunity to fight him. And he's like, no, Vegeta. No, we gotta save the world. He turned evil. It made sense. They fought it out. And then at the end, he had that moment of realization. He said, hey, Goku, you win. A beautiful character arc. Same thing with Tien. Tien used to be a villain. It wasn't until Master Roshi talked to him in that tournament, Roshi was like, Tien, you not a killer for real, and you know that. Roshi started seeing Master Shen's evil ways and said, hey, I fight with honor. That's not me, twin. Also, how often it happens, to me, it just seems more realistic than the typical Naruto talk no jutsu. Not to say talk no jutsu is bad.
It's not even real.
Enjoy the way Dragon Ball. I enjoy the way Dragon Ball does it more because it feels more realistic than a talk no jutsu to me personally. That's my take right there.
Okay, who wanna tackle this nonsense first?
I mean,
I kind of
I
agree with
feel
the nigga.
like
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, YZ.
Oh, okay, wait, go ahead. Why do you agree?
I agree because like when you actually think about it, like every character that did like in DBZ that ended up turning like good from villain to like basically being one of the Z fighters, they went through a whole process. Like even Vegeta, like he was like at one time he was just like he said he was a mammoth, and then it was just like they had to come in like one to sit, and eventually he was like, okay, either we team up or we gonna die. And it wasn't just because of like how Naruto is always Naruto talking to him, or like you go back to DBZ, it's like Goku's doing it, Goku's not doing things. It's just these characters naturally just change over to the good side.
Yeah.
If they naturally change over to the good side, why did Wonder just say that Master Roshi had a conversation?
Not naturally. I get the better way to phrase it, at least, or I don't know if this is where YZ meant. So let me not speak for this.
What's up, hey Talia?
The better way I would phrase it, I would say Dragon Ball Z does a better job of utilizing the side characters to turn these villains into good people because it's
That's a whole different argument then.
But that's a process of the villains to hero trope.
That's like 15 different arguments into one.
No, because it's all about the whole process of turning a villain good. And that's why I think Dragon Ball does it better. They utilize the side characters in the process. It's not just Goku talking about some, I sense good in you. He killed Kid Buu and prayed to God that Kid Buu got reincarnated as a good and he came back black as Oob. Goku barely be talking to these.
What does that have to do with the argument?
Okay, so my argument is the reason I think Dragon Ball does it better is because of that. One, it's not always the same person just talking to somebody.
Well, the name of the anime is Naruto. I mean,
True.
in the name of the anime, not only is the name of the anime Naruto, the point of him, quote unquote, talk no jutsu, which is, we could do a different debate because I feel like that's just complete and utter nonsense. But the whole point of him talking to them, you have to look at how Naruto actually is. Like, they're kid soldiers essentially getting thrown out into battle and then having to essentially kill and have no emotion while doing it or whatever case it be. And Naruto's whole purpose is to find peace. So is Goku's purpose to find peace? No, his purpose and everyone else's purpose is to get stronger, which is what it seems like. That's one of Goku's main goals, is to be the strongest person. Not gonna say be the strongest, because obviously that's impossible. You got Zeno running around.
Yeah.
Before I continue, let's cool down on the cussing, because that's a lot of editing. What I'm getting at is different. Like how people view talk no jutsu is different from a universe like Dragon Ball Z. Because Goku cannot relate to a lot of these people. Goku's main or sole mission is to be the strongest. He almost got the earth destroyed trying to be the strongest or trying to have a turn between the strongest. I know that's super or whatever, but regardless, that's Goku. Like, that's his whole trope.
We gotta fact check that. Hold on. Are you talking about the Tournament of Power?
That's super.
Yeah, no, but you are saying that Goku almost got the planet destroyed because he was trying to find out who the strongest was?
That's pretty much how that went.
Okay, so
What?
Context. If that Tournament of Power didn't happen, Zeno was destroying them all regardless.
How was he going to do that?
Because they were weak. Their power levels were considered.
Okay, so is what you said make my statement any less true?
You were saying
I hear what you're saying, but that doesn't make my point any.
I
hear what you're saying, but that doesn't make my point any less true. Goku was almost got them. If anything, he almost got them nukes faster from what he was doing. I could pull up the clip of what he was doing and how he was acting.
You're right. But I guess again, I don't think Goku's actions were making a situation worse because him instigating the Tournament of Power is what gave them a chance at survival. If he doesn't do that, they're guaranteed dead no matter what.
But my whole point is Goku is not out there trying to redeem people or trying to get world peace. It's not the main focus of Dragon Ball Z.
But was Naruto's really trying to get peace though?
Yes.
I was about to say,
what do you mean? What's he trying to get peace?
No, because
hold on, because I'm not about to have. Hold on, because I'm not finna have people in this stream sit here and lie on Naruto to push their agenda. Naruto's only goal, okay, Naruto's quote unquote main goal was the Hokage. Why? That's not the only reason he was trying to be Hokage. He was trying to change the ninja world.
Tone, okay. First, okay, I have 2 points. I have 2 things, right? One, your thing with Goku not wanting to redeem villains. I don't think that's true when he's notorious for letting them live, which gives them the chance at redemption.
That's okay, so that's not my point. That's not.
No, you're trying to say Goku don't be trying to redeem them just because he don't talk to them and he.
I'm saying how he goes about it is a lot different. If I might, but how he's going about it is a lot different and may be seen as better.
That was one. And thing number 2, in terms of Naruto wanting to change the world, I wouldn't have given that like goal to Naruto until Sasuke left and he truly understood why Sasuke left. I think Naruto and Kid Naruto before he left, that man he wasn't really on some change the world thing until Sasuke.
I call cap.
But that's
I don't think he did because
regardless. Go ahead, bro. But yeah, go ahead.
Cap there because literally in the Land of the Mist, when he saw like how Zabuza was treating Haku, and he was like, yo, this is like messed up. He wanted to change that system, with what they're doing in Land of the Mist. Same thing in the tuning exams. When Neji was talking about, how he felt, not just him, but the whole system.
He said he wanted to change the way of the Hyugas because that was messed up the way they did.
But he's progressively like learning about the ninja world because one, you don't have parents.
Yeah.
He's stuck in it out, so it's like I think
he didn't have a guide either.
He's getting it through. He is like learning about the ninja world, and he's trying. But he's been doing that since the beginning, though.
Like the very first arc.
I guess
I
the
guess
way
I got
I wouldn't have considered that his original goal until he started seeing the darkness of the Shinobi.
But Bruh's point is
I wouldn't even say that's
but
his goal.
he's seen it in the very first arc is what Bruh was saying.
No, that's
That
what
all that ties into his goal in general. It's not just be the Hokage.
The thing about it, I would like to say is that Naruto he always said he had a ninja way, which means he had his own morals. That he basically, if he saw something within the ninja world that he didn't agree with, he would basically say, "Hey, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't agree with that." And it wasn't that he was trying to push for peace. He just had a ninja way that he himself went about. And when he saw somebody that did the opposite of it, he was like, "Hey, I don't like how you doing that. I don't agree with that. My morals is like this. I believe it should be like this." But was he pushing for peace? Was he like advocating to everybody like, "Hey, I think it should be like this"? No, he was just coming to contact with people and he would see and be like, "Hey, bro, I don't like that. That's not how I rock." So it was. I wouldn't say it was him pushing with peace.
I would agree with that. I don't think pushing peace and not war was I don't think that was his agenda of world peace until Pain. Because that was when he decided, that's when he found out about
it. It wasn't until Pain, because he spent all that time with Jiraiya who was instilling that within him. And they gave us all type of flashbacks that people love to hate on of how Naruto can get to peace. Because that was ultimately Jiraiya's goal, which was trying to fix the ninja system. And being the Hokage wasn't just, oh, I just want to be the head of the village. Like, that's never been the case.
Yeah, it was never about that. No, that's not what I'm saying it was about. Naruto's goal for Hokage was more about him being universally loved and accepted by the village. Yes. That was always why he wanted that title.
Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't about world peace.
Okay, so you're saying that as far as the beginning, that's not Naruto in its totality. It's over 700 episodes. That's not. If you're talking about in the beginning, that wasn't his goal, sure, but I'm not referencing just that. I'm saying in general, at the end of the day, when he's seen how the ninja cycle was being portrayed and how Pain depicted and everything, and he's still like, what can I do, or what can us as a system do? Well, he didn't have the answer, but what can we as a system do so that stuff like this stops happening, where a ninja kills another ninja from another nation, and then that nation gets a revenge, and then the cycle repeats. So if we're gonna go and I'm glad you brought up Pain. To go back to the original point, there isn't a single villain to hero trope in Dragon Ball Z that is better than Pain becoming a hero. Because to be honest, I don't even feel like they're villains. I think they're just, like most people say, broken heroes. But regardless, if we just go based off with how Kishimoto intended it, which is an antagonist, I personally believe
you're putting Pain above Vegeta.
I'm putting Pain above Vegeta. I'm putting Obito's above Vegeta.
That's kind of crazy.
It's not crazy. To be honest, if we keep it in the bean, Vegeta is still the same exact he was. So, Vegeta is still the same jazz.
Very disingenuous. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little disingenuous to Vegeta. Sure, he kept his pride, but I think for where he started, again, that man used to be a selfish, complete, only care about myself and my goal,
about my pride,
getting immortal. And to now, he's telling, "Hey Goku, I can't join no tournament of power. I just had a daughter. I gotta look after my kid." Sacrificing himself for the planet Earth. Vegeta of beginning would have never done that. Like, sure, he's still Vegeta at heart, duh. That's like saying Sasuke is still the same Sasuke from the beginning because he's still emo and be avoiding people. Well, yes, he's still Sasuke, but it's just he done went through a lot of growth. Vegeta's the same way.
I'll even say Sasuke's hero to villain to hero is better than Vegeta's.
Sasuke's the only one I would agree with because he's like, Sasuke makes a lot more.
Because he had a real change, and it's the same thing that kind of like what Vegeta went through.
What do you mean a real change?
Because he was, all right, from Sasuke's perspective during that time, Sasuke was kind of like, he was already kind of moving more so towards like a villain side. And his understanding of was that he never agreed with anything of that the Leaf Village had did, and he knew most of it had happened. So once he got a perspective of both sides and got to see that, like, the path that I think when him seeing Madara was like, I think he kind of foresaw himself like this was the path that I could have went down, but I ended up choosing something different, which kind of opened his eyes. And luckily that Naruto was still fighting for him, kind of gave him that change of heart that, like, maybe this isn't the way I'm supposed to go, and this is where I'm supposed to be, and I should try it this way instead of repeating a cycle that he had been told about, that had been constantly being repeated, that they had been being reincarnated.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This might sound a little crazy, but I'm thinking about Sasuke's whole journey, and a lot of it didn't have to do directly with Naruto influence. It was more so Sasuke would find new information and then change his stance. And oftentimes that new information was not presented by Naruto.
Well, yeah, but
Turn
Naruto's the
evil.
one who ultimately brought him back to the quote unquote good side.
Yeah, he was kind of like the final push, off
Yeah,
the
Naruto
ledge.
was like the final push, but like I don't think Naruto's talk at the end to Sasuke is as effective if Sasuke didn't talk to those Hokage before that war, before he joined the war. I don't think it's gonna hit the same.
I think that's debatable, but we
I
already
think,
then
again,
ventured
a lot
off
of
into like several different arguments.
Okay, yeah, but for the main
Okay.
argument, I can see where you're coming from, and I can understand, and that's why I said Naruto's talk no jutsuing. I'm just referring to that is that because it's the quickest way to get you to understand what I'm talking about. But I think it's a good method for sure. I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it. Again, it makes sense for the show, but at least for me, I think Dragon Ball is just more realistic in terms of
That's what I
More
Realistic?
because I want to say instead of saying natural, I want to say it was more organic. Like
it
Naruto,
felt, yeah, it felt more organic.
Okay,
Naruto's was more so.
I disagree with that completely still, but continue.
Okay,
Name one.
Tone,
Name
okay,
one person that Naruto
How-
didn't change.
I don't want to stray too far. Wait, Tone, how is Dragon Ball's villain to hero thing not organic?
No, you said more organic. I'm saying I disagree with that.
How is it more organic than Dragon Ball? How is it more organic?
What's up, French? How is it more organic?
Yeah.
Not only is it more realistic, Naruto, what they're dealing with is also, in my opinion, very political. Let's take Pain, for example. How they depicted the ninja cycle is like how it is in the real world. We go to war, people bomb nations, bomb this, and then people retaliate, and then it's an endless cycle of war. We've been warring for centuries now. It's how it is in Naruto. That cycle has been going on since Kaguya. So it's like, that's realistic. So getting someone to understand, like, okay, I have the answer now, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to get to that answer and get to the piece that we are all owed, and stop all this get back. Let me body your man. Now you got to body my man, and now we're just going off of vengeance. So to me, that change is more realistic, and it's in a sense more organic. That's just me. I don't know.
Even outside of war, that even happens on a smaller level with just think about certain neighborhoods and whatnot, certain areas in like the U.S. Right? You have people in Baton Rouge like back before Katrina. They were killing each other, back and forth, each other's sides. Cousins are killing each other. But it takes literally one person or both sides to come down and be like, yo, we're tripping. We could talk this out. We could end the beef, right? And I think that is way more realistic than,
I'm coming to destroy your planet.
Eventually find a common enemy, and now they're on the same side because, more is aligned. I think, at least with Naruto,
Wouldn't that be how the
makes
world
more
is?
sense
I
because
mean, the same thing in World War II, World War
Yeah,
I.
I was about to say, like,
Yeah, that's
the sand and the leaf were beefing. The sound manipulated the sand.
But who created the sound?
Sound out. You're right. Orochimaru, hidden leaf.
And that man was pure evil. There is no changing Orochimaru. There are just some people you can't change. But Naruto,
We can't say you can't change Orochimaru when he was at Naruto's wedding and he got a kid in the academy. I don't know if we can say he can't change.
But I think what you're saying, what y'all are saying, is at least what y'all just say is feeding to my point that it's realistic.
Tone, you know how sometimes when I'll Naruto points and you'll be like, I'm oversimplifying it. You're oversimplifying Dragon Ball a little. Because
I don't think I've ever said that to you, but
black and white. No, you brought it up in like when I jokingly used the whole Obito switch sides on a war he started thing. You'll be like, it wasn't that simple, which is true. It wasn't. I say that for the trolls.
yeah, don't troll on this.
But like,
no, I'm just playing.
yeah, no, you good. In terms of Dragon Ball, again, it'll be like I use Vegeta and Namek because it made so much sense. Vegeta was actively doing normal Vegeta things in Namek.
What was his goal?
Immortality.
Vegeta's goal was immortality, right?
And Namek, yes, his goal was to get the Dragon Balls and become immortal and avenge his clan and avenge his people by eventually getting strong enough to kill Frieza. But he came to Namek not to be on no ally thing. He heard about the Dragon Balls and said, hey, let me go to Namek and get the Dragon Balls. He didn't even know Frieza was going to be there until he got there.
I feel like the Naruto one is just a little bit more realistic because, he's literally talking these things out. He's working his problems out with his words, with people. And I think you can literally relate it to real life because I know all of us has had arguments with people and it's from different perspectives, but at least you can understand someone's perspective because that's not a bad person, but they're just seeing things differently and going about it differently and it resolve it, right?
True.
I feel like that's what's been doing, right? Because the way Pain was going about it, he didn't go about it just because, he was misled. Danzo you know, messed up stuff.
Pain got swindled.
What I'm mainly saying is like I just feel like Naruto's a little bit more. For me, what I quantify as better is that either relatability or realistic, right? And I think Naruto's a little bit more realistic because he's talking to these people because he can see himself in these people, but he's trying to like, you know, change their perspective so that way they're not continuously going down this villainous path.
I feel like that Naruto's way of doing stuff and the way they did as for him talking to people and communicating is like this like imaginative fantasy idea of what we have is like as what we think of the world and try to get to world peace. So that's the only reason why I would say like Wonder's whole thing about like DBZ is more organic than Naruto, because when you think about it, bro, in the real world, nobody's going over there to talk to each other and be like, hey, bro, you want to know something? I really feel you coming from. We're going to stop doing this. I mean,
no, that does happen. Diplomatic solutions, like peace treaties, that stuff happened in our history. Like that's essentially.
I'm not saying
but hold on. Let me put it like this. In Boruto, we all know that Naruto was at once strongest character in there, and he essentially accomplished his goal, right, of peace. There are still smaller countries and nations. There are still bandits. There are still like crooks. There's still, you know, BS in place. But that doesn't mean he didn't go about it the way of like trying to get peace and trying to negotiate, just like we do in real life. There have been peace treaties. We have.
I mean, look, we should just wrap this up and let it go to the chat because we have a lot more things to.
Yeah.
We can change each other's perspective.
Yeah.
He knew this was going to end.
I don't even know what's going on, but F Boruto entitled that.
All right, poll is up.
I already know my take is going to lose.
I think a lot of it is just understanding each anime and like their characters. Like Goku's is not trying to be president, or he's not trying to.
That man is not trying to do none of that political.
Not doing any of this for world peace.
He's doing it because he likes to.
Doing it for the love of the game, bro.
100% agree. I also agree. What's it called? A lot of Naruto people not necessarily being villains, but more so of anti-heroes or just broken heroes. I agree. I think what makes the key difference. That's why it is still realistic in Naruto, because they're not full-blown villains.
Yeah, like I don't.
If they were full-blown villains, it's a very different discussion.
Yeah.
3 to 5 was a lot nicer odds than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be. I was expecting to get swept.
Bronchoka cheered X1.
But I really just
but I really
fight.
just like to fight Goku.